Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing something truly special. We're stepping back in time, not just to talk about history, but to try and live a small piece of it. We're going to recreate one of the most remarkable and poignant moments of the 20th century, the Christmas Truce of 1914. Picture the scene. It's December 1914, just a few months into the Great War. Millions of young men are dug into a vast, muddy network of trenches stretching across Western Europe. They are separated by a desolate, dangerous strip of land called no man's land. The conditions are unimaginable: freezing cold, constant dampness, and the ever-present threat of enemy fire. Morale is low, and the initial belief that the war would be over by Christmas has evaporated, replaced by a grim, grinding reality. Yet, on Christmas Eve, something extraordinary began to happen. In scattered sections of the front line, the sounds of battle began to fade, replaced by something entirely different: Christmas carols. It started small. A German soldier might light a candle and place it on the parapet of his trench. Then, he might start singing "Still Nacht, a Silent Night." From across no man's land, a British soldier, hearing the familiar tune, might respond with his own version in English. Imagine the courage it took for that first soldier to raise his hat above the trench. Not with a weapon, but with a song. Soon, voices from both sides joined in, creating a surreal and beautiful chorus that drifted across the frozen battlefield. This fragile harmony was the first step towards a truce. Slowly, cautiously, soldiers began to emerge from their trenches. They were unarmed, hands raised to show they meant no harm. They met in the middle of no man's land, this place that was, just hours before, a symbol of death and division. What happened next is the stuff of legend. These men, who had been trained to see each other as nothing but the enemy, shook hands. They exchanged small gifts, buttons from their uniforms, tobacco, chocolate, and photographs of their families. They shared stories, showed each other pictures of their sweethearts and children back home, and discovered a shared humanity that the war had tried so hard to erase. They even helped each other bury their fallen comrades, who had been left in no man's land for weeks. British and German soldiers stood side by side, reciting prayers and psalms for the dead, offering a moment of dignity and respect in the midst of chaos. It was a powerful act of shared grief and compassion. And then, there were the football matches. Yes, you heard that right. In several places along the front, impromptu games of football broke out. Using everything from proper leather balls to bundled up rags, these soldiers played with a joy and abandon that had been absent for months. For a few precious hours, they weren't soldiers in opposing armies. They were just young men kicking a ball around on a frosty Christmas morning. It's an image that has become iconic, a symbol of how the simple love of a game can transcend even the deepest of conflicts. So, that's what we are attempting to honor today. We've gathered a group of dedicated reenactors, representing both British and German soldiers of the period. We've painstakingly recreated a section of the trenches, right down to the sandbags and the duckboards. Our goal isn't just to put on costumes and act out a scene. It's to try and capture a fraction of the spirit of that day, to understand the profound shift from hostility to fellowship that occurred. We're starting our recreation now, as dusk falls on Christmas Eve. You can feel the chill in the air, just as they would have. The first part of this experience is about understanding the baseline of trench life awaiting, the tension, the silence punctuated by distant, ominous sounds. It's in this atmosphere of anxiety that the first notes of a carol would have been so startling, so revolutionary. Now, from the German trench, a single voice begins to sing "Still Nacht." Listen, the sound carries across our own no man's land. It's hauntingly beautiful. It's a peace offering. A question asked through music: are you like me? Do you also miss home on this Christmas night, now? Our British reenactors are responding. They're singing the first Noel. The two melodies intertwine. It's a moment that sends a shiver down your spine. It's the sound of walls breaking down. Now, watch closely. One of our German reenactors is cautiously raising a small, candlelit Christmas tree above the trench line. This was a common sight, a small beacon of hope in the darkness. Seeing this, One of the British soldiers slowly, carefully, climbs out of the trench, his hands empty and open. Another follows. The tension is palpable. This is the moment of truth. Will peace hold? They meet in the middle. There's a hesitant handshake. Then another. Soon, more soldiers from both sides are emerging, drawn into this incredible, spontaneous peace. They are sharing flasks of brandy, trading cigarettes for biscuits. You can see them laughing, trying to communicate through broken bits of language and hand gestures. They're realizing the enemy is a man just like them, with a family, with hopes, with a desire to simply survive and go home. We've brought out a football. And just like that, a game starts. It's not organized. It's chaotic, full of laughter and slipping in the mud. But look at their faces. For this brief time, the war is forgotten. They are united by a simple game. This is the heart of the Christmas Truce. It wasn't an order from high command, it was a grassroots movement, an act of collective defiance by ordinary men who chose humanity over hostility, if only for a day. Of course, the truce didn't last. The generals and commanders on both sides were horrified. They issued strict orders forbidding any fraternization with the enemy. By New Year's, the fighting had resumed, in many cases with even greater intensity. The war would grind on for more brutal years, claiming millions more lives. The Christmas truce was never repeated on such a scale. So why do we remember it? Why are we recreating it today? Because it's a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, our shared humanity can shine through. It shows us that peace is possible, that empathy can bridge the widest divides. The soldiers of 1914 showed us that the person on the other side is not an abstract enemy, but a human being, just like us. This story isn't just about the past, it's a lesson for our present and our future. It teaches us to look for the humanity in others, especially those we disagree with. It's a testament to the enduring power of peace, goodwill, and a simple Christmas carol. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. Recreating this moment has been a deeply moving experience for all of us here. If this story touched you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more historical deep dives. Let's keep the spirit of the Christmas truce alive. Thank you for watching.